Well, good Friday evening, everyone, and welcome to the first November 2019 edition of FSU Weather. I'm Steve Meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Lawrence Torres-Leshnick. How you doing, Tallahassee?
Oh, it was great out there today. Nice, cool, crisp day.
Very
Very
crisp.
fall-like after a pretty warm Halloween, honestly, before the cold front moved through.
Yeah, it's a great start to November, November 1st. Welcome to the month.
Yep.
2 months left in this decade, so it's a great time to cool down and start getting into those fall temperatures that we've been waiting for. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it felt great out there. We were 41 degrees this morning, one of our coldest lows in quite a while.
Yeah, it was nice to walk over. Here at FSU Weather, we have a thing where we eat chicken on Fridays. So we went to Guthrie's.
Yep, and the air was as crisp as the chicken tenders at Guthrie's. I can confirm that.
I can also confirm that, and this is one of the times that Michael's food references are apt. And it was nice to go to Guthrie's, and it was nice to experience the cool weather. It was a great start to November.
Oh yeah, it was definitely great out there. And you know what? Unlike the last few cold fronts where it only lasts for a day and then the humidity comes back, this is gonna last for at least 3 to 4 days, which is amazing.
Yeah, and you'll see later on in the show when we show our 7-day and we show our local forecasts that this cold front, this cold weather is going to stick around for a little while, and that's why it's the beginning of winter, beginning of fall.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We have the FSU exhibition game against Columbus State going on right now, and then we also have the Miami game tomorrow at 3:30, and it will feel like football weather, which is great.
It's going to be great to sit in those stands and not just melt or have to wear copious amounts of sunscreen. But for now, we're going to throw it on to Chris to give us a look at what's going on in the show.
Thank you, Lawrence. I hope you guys are enjoying these fall-like conditions as much as we are at FSU Weather. Currently, it's 63 degrees. Winds coming out of the north, 10 miles an hour. On our satellite radar, you can't see a cloud in the sky all above Tallahassee, and that's because there was a high-pressure system dominating much of the southeast. And in fact, much of the southeast doesn't have a cloud in the sky. That was bringing us these crisp, clear, sunny conditions. Great weather for walking outside, especially if you enjoy the cooler temperatures that fall brings. This weekend shaping up to be very nice, very cool, 69 degrees. On Saturday and Sunday. Monday's going to warm up a bit to 74, but look at those lows in the 40s. As we're going to move into next week's headlines, cold temperatures, clear skies, they're going to be sticking around all week, and we're going to be moving into the FSU versus Miami game day forecast later in the show. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Michael with a look at the Southeast.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a pretty exciting rivalry game tomorrow. Not great teams, but it's still a good game. But across the rest of the Southeast, pretty nice conditions overall if you're north of the I-4 corridor, honestly, with temperatures in the 50s and 60s north of that I-4 corridor, 63 in Tallahassee, 56 in Atlanta, 50 in Nashville, and then south of that I-4 corridor, basically south of Orlando. It feels still summer-like out there, 81 in Tampa and 85 down towards Miami as well, but very nice conditions across the interior locations of the Southeast. And you can also notice it with the dew points. Very fall-like air out there, very crisp, very comfortable, perfect for just roaming around, going for a nice stroll. Honestly, a great day out there. And then down towards Central and South Florida, still a little bit muggy as that frontal boundary that moved through us here in Tallahassee yesterday hasn't really cleared the rest of the state just yet, and it probably won't clear most of the state and just linger around the Central Florida area for the weekend time and going into early next week. And with the wind speeds, you can notice we have a nice northerly wind bringing in that drier air from the north and from Canada. And then down towards Tampa and Miami, it's a little bit of an easterly and a westerly wind. That's where the stalled out frontal boundary is. And we have a little bit of shower activity and a lot of cloud cover associated with that frontal boundary. You see that on the satellite and radar. A lot of it is offshore, but you do have a little bit of shower activity down towards South Florida and West Palm Beach, Miami, and Homestead. The rest of the Southeast, though, is dominated by high pressure. There is a frontal boundary here, but this is more of a reinforcing front in terms of just reinforcing the cool fall-like air. It doesn't really have much moisture to work with, and so that's going to maintain the northerly flow across the Southeast and keep those fall-like conditions for not just a day, but for 3-4 days, and might even beyond the further north you up in the Southeast. And we did actually get some decent rain out of this cold front over the last few days. Did help on our drought monitor a bit. We don't have much extreme or severe drought anymore, and especially in parts of central Georgia, don't even have any more drought at all. But it's going to take a few more rain events to really get out of that drought where we had a really dry November, and we did have a pretty wet October across the southeast, so that did help somewhat, but a few more rain events, and this should start to chip away the drought over the next few weeks. Now, for the next 24 hours, the solar frontal boundary in central Florida really nudges around, moves a little bit up to the north and a little bit up to the south, gives some cloud coverage to Swanee River Valley in North Florida, so that might limit the low temperatures down there. But another chilly and some freeze watches and warnings up towards the interior locations of the Appalachians for tonight. So another cold one out there if you're going to head out early Saturday morning. And you can see that by tonight's forecast with temperatures in the low to mid 30s across the Appalachians and northern Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. And then still warm down towards central and south Florida with the extra cloud cover. And then finally for tomorrow, another fall-like day, basically if you're just north of the I-4 corridor. So let's send it now off to Hayden to go into Tallahassee.
Yes, it was a great evening. It was a great day out in Tallahassee. Currently you can see 63, a beautiful blue sky, a light north wind. It is perfect here. It is a great time to go out to Landis, bring your dogs, go for that evening walk. Do whatever you got to do. Go out to the expedition game of Florida State. It is going to be a great time out there. So let's look at these temperatures. Tallahassee, 63. Monticello, 61. A little bit warmer down by the Gulf Coast, 66. But overall, low 60s is the name of the game, and it is pleasant out there. Speaking of which, you can really see those dew points. Tallahassee, 38. Monticello, 41. Perry, 42. And so really dry air is pervasive throughout. That cold front is really broadening those dry air. It's like basically you're in Canada, all that dry air sinking down to area, and it is beautiful. And so for the wind speed and directions, once again, that's really funneling in some of our cooler air. We have a 10-mile-per-hour wind, so that's really some affecting that cool air and dry air that we are experiencing. And so keep in mind with that wind chill in the morning hours, it's cool enough with this radiation cooling, and so that wind will only make it cooler. So just keep that in mind for going out to the block party or if any Friday night plans, that it will be quite chilly out there. And between those blue skies and that cooler air, there is nothing on the satellite radar to be seen. Blue sky is seen all across. Even as you head out to Lake City 975, if you're traveling up for the game tomorrow, you'll have no problems with traffic because the weather is perfect. At least no traffic with regards to the weather. And then now for the drought index, Tallahassee, you're under a moderate drought, but we are getting much better. Panama City, you have a little bit of a higher drought extreme, but overall our drought conditions are improving with these cold fronts and the rain, and so it is a very positive thing for the Tallahassee area. And so looking out to our next 24 hours, you can really see that blue sky pervasive throughout the area, bringing in those low 40 temperatures tonight. However, if you noticed earlier in the camera, you saw these little clouds building up by Perry and by the Swanee River Valley, and that's because that cold front is going to be oscillating. And so if you're down by the nature coast, it will be a little bit warmer as those clouds and moisture lingers around, but the front will then drop again. And so overall in the Big Bend region, we'll be having good conditions out there. And so looking out for the week ahead, 69 Saturday, 69 Sunday. It will be a cool morning if you're tailgating, so just make sure to bring a light jacket. But overall, it's going to be very pleasant. And then for the rest of the week, 76, 78 as we warm up. Now let's bring it off to the desk to Chris and Lorenz and see what they have to say.
Thank you, Hayden. As you knew, yesterday was Halloween. A spooky cold front came in that brought a little bit of rain and rain things. You might say that cold front was quite a hustler as there was dropped us 15 degrees.
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive in changing the temperatures. When I was producing the show yesterday, it said it was 89 degrees, and that ended up being our high. And then at Halloween, like when we went out, it was a lot cooler than that.
Yeah, it was dropped all the way down to 64 today. Here is pictures from our FSU weather Halloween party. I was not there for the picture.
Yeah, Chris decided to leave early.
Yeah, I had to go and be a good student and do some homework as it was on a Thursday night and had to finish some stuff.
Yeah, it was
Friday.
a school night. And if you went out earlier for trick-or-treating, probably around like 6 or something like that, you probably noticed the rain. That was the other side effect of the cold front that moved through. But after the rain passed, it was a lot cooler and a lot more comfortable, except for Tyler here, our producer. If you can see, he looks like he's dressed up as a Survivor contestant because that was his costume. And he said he was cold.
Yeah, he actually was complaining. He's not on the show tonight because he says he's sick. We think has something to do with him wearing a swimsuit and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
With that cold front came through. It was in the 40s last night. Definitely not well dressed for the cooler temperatures.
Yeah, not at all. But Tyler still was a hustler last night. He pushed through it. He aggressively figured out how to survive in his costume. Hence the name Survivor.
Yeah, did not get voted out of the house
No, yeah, his torch stayed up the whole night,
Yeah.
But Tyler, I think, had a good Halloween, and so did the rest of us here in Tallahassee.
I hope you guys did too. Hope that cold front didn't ruin too many nights with young trick-or-treaters when the rain came in a little bit earlier. I hope you guys were weather aware and you brought your jackets and rain jackets.
Yeah, and now thanks to the cold front, we still have a good weekend ahead of us. So people heading to the football game, people heading to the exhibition game that's happening right now, and any of the other weekend activities you have planned, it's going to be a whole lot better than just a hot summer Florida heat.
Yeah, these cool temperatures are definitely going to be sticking around, but for now I'm actually going to take things off to the wall with a look at the national. Right now, our national high from yesterday's high is in Lake Wales, Florida with 94 degrees, and our low for this morning was in West Yellowstone, Montana with -9 degrees. That's pretty cold right now. On our temperature scales, it's looking pretty cool throughout most of the U.S. Northern U.S. is sitting in the lower 40s, even with 30 degrees, 32 degrees in Denver. It's actually at the freezing point there. It's a little bit warmer down in Phoenix, Los Angeles, as well as Miami is our hot spot at 85 degrees. When we move into our dew points, we're very dry throughout basically the entirety of the U.S. Albuquerque is sitting at a -9 degree dew point as our driest portion of the area, and it seems like the only region with moisture is South Florida and Miami, as they have the highest dew point at 70 degrees, almost double what it is in Tallahassee. That is due to the stationary front that is sitting by South Florida, which was it was a cold front before, and that was the cold front that pushed throughout Halloween. Moving on, the reason why it's dry throughout most of the U.S., look at all these high pressure systems sitting around. That's going to be keeping the entirety of the U.S. mostly dry, cool, and clear skies, low dew points. However, there is some rain and mixed precipitation in Iowa, Minneapolis, Wisconsin, Michigan area. That is due to this low pressure system sitting in Manitoba, which will be moving eastward, providing more rain, snow, precipitation to the Great Lakes region as we move on. But right now, there's a frost advisory as well as freeze warning throughout a lot of the East Coast, covering up basically the entirety of New Jersey, Denver, most of Maryland, and it's extending all the way down to parts of Mississippi. So if you live in those areas, you definitely want to be bringing your pets and plants inside. Over the next 24 hours, I said that storm system that was located in Manitoba will be moving eastward, which is going to be moving that mixed precipitation and rain eastward as well. There will be some scattered showers that I accidentally covered up that show up in Miami that will appear over the next 24 hours. Tonight, though, it's going to be looking very cool. Most of the U.S. is actually sitting either in freezing or right around freezing. There's going to be expecting some snow in Bismarck and Minneapolis, as well as some mixed precipitation in Chicago. Other than that, you're looking like a precipitation-less, pretty clear night. Nice night to go out if you don't mind the cooler temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast is going to be looking like another clear day, clear, cool day. As we in the Southeast are definitely looking forward to. A hot spot is actually Miami, the second hottest spot being in Phoenix. However, if you enjoy these cooler temperatures, you will be quite a fan tomorrow, as now I'm going to hand things off to Lawrence with a look at the local.
Thanks very much, Chris. Yeah, we're going to take a look at our local region again. And honestly, today is a phenomenal day. So if you went outside yet or you're going to go outside later tonight, it's absolutely amazing. We got good temperatures, we got good dew points, we got no precipitation. It's not hot and a lot going on the weekend because today's Friday. So looking at that rainfall almanac, we have 0 degrees observed today. There was no rain. It's slightly below average, but the main thing to worry about is we're still a little bit in a drought. But as we continue to move on through the season, hopefully that will continue to change. And there it is. There's no clouds in sight. That high pressure system sitting right above us is pushing everything out. There's no rain, there's no clouds. It's a clear, beautiful blue sky, 63 degrees. We got some northerly winds bringing in cooler, drier temperatures. 63 here in Tallahassee, 59 in Quincy, and the rest of the Big Bend region in the same color, in the same contour. It's basically all just low 60s, and it'll continue to drop throughout the night into those 40s. And taking a look at those dew points, which is really just giving us a good estimate on the moisture in the air, they're great. They're not too high, they're not too low. We're sitting here at 38 in Tallahassee. It's dry, it's comfortable, so even if you want to go out for a walk, or I went out for a run last night and it wasn't that sweaty, like it's some great temperatures that we got here in the Big Bend region. There's that high pressure system that's giving us all these great gifts and these blessings, and that cold front that's going to continue to move through into our region and not really change the temperature too drastically. It'll just continue to dry out our region, which isn't the best for our drought, but it might be better for you personally as we continue to go throughout the weekend and the week. And that stationary front down there is pushing some showers near us, but they will not be affecting us too soon. And here's parts of those clouds behind me. That's that stationary front pushing a little bit up. So we're getting some of those high level clouds, some precipitation down south, nothing in our region. So if you're sitting here in our local region, you don't really have to worry about anything. Just continue to enjoy the temperatures. You don't need to pack an umbrella. You don't need to pack your rain jacket up until Tuesday and later throughout the week. So there's that rain chance on Tuesday, and there's another one here on Friday. So that's almost an entire week, really, where you don't have to worry about rain, you don't have to worry about the heat, and you can basically do whatever you want, and you can just enjoy Tallahassee. We got a lot going on this weekend. Go to the football game. You got tailgates? Go to the tailgates. You got to study? Perfect time to study. If not, I'm sure you can find something to do. We still got Halloween festivities going on all throughout the weekend. You can sit in and watch Sunday Night Football. Currently, we're going to sit and watch some Jags games because we are keeping track of those fantasy teams here at FSU Weather. But just enjoy the weekend. We got 69 degrees for Saturday and Sunday. That's nice. And the rest of the week, we're going to warm up a little bit. Not going to hit 80s. And those nighttime temperatures, they're just going to be phenomenal. But for now, we're going to head over back to the desk with Michael and Hayden.
Well, I'm actually not hating on this, but thank you, Lawrence. Right now, we're going to give you a reminder that daylight savings time is on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the first, we're into November, and that first Sunday of November is daylight savings. So yeah, that means it ends, actually, and our clocks go back an hour, so you gain the hour of sleep that you lost back in March.
Yeah, this is the daylight savings I'm pretty sure everyone's looking forward to, especially college students. Got to catch up on that sleep as exams were coming up.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how it's still being used in this day and age. We have had a couple of states where like we should stop turning back our clocks and just stay in daylight savings time for the entire year, just because it's not really. Honestly, there's no really point to it. Honestly, for a lot of states now, that's what they're thinking.
Well, the whole law, the reason why it was implemented was, in theory, to save on the electrical bill, as you don't use the lights as much as the daylight savings is.
Mm-hmm.
However, it does seem to complicate things when you're trying to coordinate things between nations that are far apart in different time zones.
Yeah, exactly. And only 2 states in the U.S. don't actually move the clock back on Sunday. It's Arizona and Hawaii. Arizona does it just because they get a lot of sunlight, and they it's the same thing for Hawaii because they're near the equator, so it doesn't really make a difference for them.
Yeah, I actually spent my first year in Panama, which is a country in the equator.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you, every day, 6 a.m., sun rises, 6 p.m., sun sets, every single day.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Starting on Sunday morning, you'll notice that the sunrise is an hour earlier at around 6:30, and then the sun sets around 6 o'clock. It will feel very weird, and especially up in the north, it will get weird going into December when the sun sets at like 4:30 in the afternoon. That's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but for now, we're gonna pass things off to Hayden with Around Florida.
Yes, let's see what's going on in that great sunshine state and citrus state that we are. So currently up into the Panhandle, 63, 62 in Jacksonville. As you head down south to Orlando, right by the I-4 corridor, 73. And then once again, behind south of that station in front, 86 Fort Myers, a steamy 85 in Key West. Very very tropical out there, very fall-like up in the Panhandle. Those are our themes. So let's look down to our dew point forecast. Tallahassee, 38. Jacksonville, 52. It's a little bit more moist by the coast, but the big contrast is that front right here on the I-4 corridor. I can't stress that enough. 71 Fort Myers, 73, 74 West Palm. And so you can really get the idea. It is steamy out there. And so let's look at those wind forecasts. So it's really driving in that temperature. Tampa, 8 miles per hour, that northwest wind. West Palm, a little bit breezy off that Atlantic, 13. So watch out for that sea breeze there. Tallahassee, 10, and Jacksonville, 12. So general theme, we have light winds, but overall there's still a breeze out there. So whatever your temperature is, there might be, it feels like temperature. So just keep that in mind when you go out there today. And so overall, we're going to see very clear conditions. As seen in our forecast, there is a strong area of high pressure, especially up to our north. And so that's why all this dazzling, scintillating sunshine is seen up in the upper Gulf Coast region. And then you kind of see these clouds. And that's due to that cold front stalled out. You can even see some few showers out by Miami and out by Fort Myers. And that is that cold front. And so you can really see that strong contrast and gradient that Florida is experiencing. Really two different worlds out there today. And so let's take a look at the radar. As you can see, there could be some thunderstorms, probably most likely showers around that Fort Myers and Thousand Island regions. And then as you head through the day tomorrow, you will see this boundary up by Gainesville. So south of Gainesville, there will be some high clouds, probably no precipitation. But as you head south of Orlando and Tampa, there will be some showers possible. And then if you're heading down for our Keys region, once again, it looks like it'll be a little bit more clear, but a spotty shower cannot be ruled out. So overall, if you're south of Gainesville, just keep in mind there could be a rain chance. And so let's take a look at our great Jaguars football team. Tallahassee have a lot of Jags fans. So game day forecast for us: Texas 52, 54 at 3 p.m. And then at 5 p.m. is going to be 55. Keep in mind, I believe the Texans do play in a dome, and so the temperature probably will not be affected as much, but it is still something to keep in mind because those dew points can enter the stadium with the people coming in and out, and so that could have an effect on the game. Now let's go take a look at our Dolphins and Jets here down in Miami. This is a different story. As I said, the front did not clear there. So this is going to be 83, 84 with a chance of thunderstorms. So make sure you bring a poncho. Make sure you keep aware of that lightning in a region. And then lastly, look at the Bucks all the way up in the Seattle region. 52, 1 p.m., 54, 54. Overall, pretty mild for Seattle, although it will be cool for your Tampa residents. And once again, we will see some rain. However, look at that score prediction, 28-21. I don't like that very much, but let's go for the Bucks. All right, and then for our tonight's forecast, you can see 44, 45 in Tallahassee. And as you head down south of the state, it'll be a bit warmer, 77 up to 60 in Orlando. So for tomorrow's forecast, it's also going to be very similar. It's going to be in the 80s, upper 80s in South Florida, and the 60s up in North Florida. Now let's bring it off to our desk.
Take it off back to the local conditions, and you'll see currently 63 degrees here in Tallahassee. Very nice day out there, and honestly, gorgeous. If you were walking around campus today or across Tallahassee, yeah, and so you can see, very nice, a nice sunset in progress also. And yeah, so mostly sunny with that north wind of 10 miles per hour. Now the temperatures across the rest of the panhandle, you can see 63 Tallahassee, sub 60 in Quincy with 59, 62 in Sumatra, and 60 in Donaldsonville. Very nice conditions out there for your Friday evening. Northerly winds bringing in those drier, cooler conditions from the north and from Canada. That cold front really made it feel like fall today, and it's going to feel like fall for the rest of the weekend. So really enjoyed these conditions out there. Honestly, some of the coolest air we've experienced in 6-7 months here in Tallahassee. Very nice. The muggy meter shows you smiley faces. I remember during the summer months, we always see the oppressive and very humid faces. Finally, everyone experiencing the nice sunny skies here in Tallahassee and dry conditions. Now, for tomorrow, we have the big FSU Miami game, the Sunshine Showdown. 66 degrees at kickoff at 3:30. Warming up very gradually to 67 degrees at 5 p.m. and then cooling down once the sun sets at around 7:30 at 61 degrees. Very nice conditions. Some football weather finally in Doak Campbell Stadium after some of those bakers we had earlier in the season. Now for tonight, 40 degrees, another chilly night out there. And some clear, calm conditions. A little bit of cloud cover if you're down towards Perry and Cross City near the Swanee River Valley. And that stalled out frontal boundary moves up a little bit north. But basically, if you're along the Florida-Georgia border and north of Tallahassee, it should be clear conditions. And then the week ahead, you can see Very nice conditions for the weekend with temperatures in the upper 60s at 69 degrees. Very nice, in my opinion. And then as we go into the work week, temperatures moderate a little bit, and then we also get some 2 rain chances on Tuesday and Friday as some 2 weak frontal boundaries move through our region. But temperatures pretty average for this time of year once we get towards Tuesday into Friday with temperatures in the middle 70s. Very nice conditions overall, and honestly, not that bad considering what we've had for the month of October overall, Hayden. It's been pretty warm, especially the beginning of October.
Yeah, definitely. During the beginning of October, it was like 97, or breaking records.
Yeah.
And then now you look at now you look in November, and it's like 62.
Oh yeah, it's really good out there. Yeah, a lot of sorry about my cough, but a lot of fall-like conditions, and this is going to be an extended period of fall-like weather, not just one day and then the humidity comes back the next day.
Yeah, and that's a really nice thing too. I hate bringing out my jacket, and the next day it's like, what's going on? The weather is going to be persistent, and that helps me with my wardrobe. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been starting to wear jeans. It's been I can't remember the last time I wore jeans. It was like back in February and March. It's been that long. But there you go with the 7th day. A very nice weekend on tap. 69 degrees both Saturday and Sunday, with those chilly mornings as well.
Yeah, and then looking out to further out ahead on Tuesday, maybe chances of some light showers, but overall, I don't think it'll be anything that will threaten outside plans.
Oh yeah, very, very light showers expected on Tuesday and Friday. We're not expecting really much going on over the next week, as this drier, more comfortable air mass sticks over the eastern 2/3 of the country. A little bit feeling like fall for a lot of the east going into the next week.
Yeah, perfect time. November is still very much in the fall season. And so especially as you head north, it will start to get cooler as some cold fronts come in. And so it will start to feel like the end of fall for sure.
Yeah, you know it's cold when you get those freeze watches and warnings up in the southern Appalachians and in North Georgia. That's how cold it's actually going to be the next few nights here in the southeast.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure if you have any plans for the harvest, make sure you definitely keep that inside. You don't want to get caught in the freeze.
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty good over the next few days. The Miami game, again, it's like it finally feels like football weather. I remember those first few games being scorchers out there.
Follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
Yeah, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, where we post some of our social media updates, facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And then you make sure watch us live on YouTube every weekday.
Yep, every weekday from 6 to 6:29, and then we also have Instagram as well. So, if you want to post any nice fall foliage pictures, if you're up towards the Appalachian this week, and that might actually be some great images.
I love leaf changes. So that'd be very awesome to see.
Oh yeah, that would be good. So, for all of us here at FSU Weather, enjoy the nice, cool, crisp conditions this weekend. I'm student meteorologist Michael Onnet.
And I'm student meteorologist Shane Wilder. Have a great time.